Talk about what this, week and a half, almost 2 weeks has been like, with all of these kids.
You know, this is year 7 for our leadership camp, and over this 7-year period, we've really come a long way in terms of what we do with our campers while they're here. And I have to say that this year, this 2013 class has been absolutely incredible. We've got a great group of seniors. The new group that came in from Massachusetts this year, these 4 guys have added a lot. We've had some challenging moments, and we've had to deal with Mother Nature, a lot of mosquitoes, a lot of rain, but overall, these guys just put in an unbelievable amount of work. And this leadership camp, we do a lot in a very short period of time. So a little less than 2 weeks, they're out here at Chynoweth Trails, which is our outdoor camp. And what we do through our leadership camp, I think, is pretty incredible. We bring these guys in from all over the country. They spend 4 years in this program. And it's a 4-year commitment for them. It's also a 4-year commitment for us. And so that means that the reward is to come here to Chynoweth Trails. And it's unique from the standpoint that most of these kids are from the inner city. So for them to come out in the middle of nowhere, it's a little daunting year 1. But by the time they graduate, it's just really been a life-changing experience for all of us. And what I really like to tell people about this program is that they come in going into their freshman year, and when they graduate, they're going into their senior year. And during that 4-year period of time, you really get to see these young men grow up. And it doesn't happen maybe in year 1 or 2, but by the time that they become the junior counselors, that junior year and senior year, where they're really leading all the rest of the, these guys that are here in camp, you really get to see that transformation. You see it, in real time, and that's probably the most exciting part for me.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the fact that, it is, especially on your part, it's not like, hey, they're here for 10 days and don't see them, ever again, that you are still, involved with them, throughout the year.
Sure, yeah. Our program director, Nick, Nick does a great job of traveling from city to city, visiting these guys quarterly. And when he's there with them, we're going over all the things that we discuss here in camp. And he's really making sure that they're maintaining their grades. He's making sure that they're maintaining, the relationships with their parents and their teachers, and really doing things the way we discuss them while they're here. And it's that type of commitment where you can really follow them and let them know that, hey, we're going to hold you accountable. Not just every now and then, but we're going to hold you accountable all the time. I think that really sends a clear message, and it lets them know that, hey, we're in it with them. Whatever they're going to go through, we're going to be there to help deal with those issues. And, for some of these young men, it's not something that they typically have at hand at home. They might not have that role model. They might not have that uncle or that cousin or that, friend that can really show them the right way to do things. So we like to be that. And, the rest of the kids that come in from around the country, they help do that as well. So we all hold each other accountable. During the 4-year program, all the things that we do while we're in camp, it consists of, fun things. We do a lot of fun things. We're paintballing, we're riding dirt bikes, we're riding go-karts, we're doing Camp Yale with a challenge course and zip lining and all those fun things, right? And then we got all the pickup games in our turf field, and, everybody's having a great time. But, the thing that I always stress to these kids, especially when we bring them in for that first year, is that we're also going to ask you to do a lot of other things. We're going to ask you to, take part in our camp project. We're going to ask you to take part in our small group project. And we're going to ask you to go out there and give back to the community. And that's always been big. And this year we went to the Brother in Retirement community. And they got to go over there and work with some of the seniors and feed them lunch and play bingo and take them fishing. And that was huge for some of these kids, because a lot of times, they don't have an avenue where they can give back, and they don't see what that really looks like. And so to be a part of this community and help give back has been crucial.
And talk about, when these kids do graduate from the 4-year program, and, you talked about how you see them transform, and what's it like, when they graduate, tomorrow, obviously. What's that going to be like for you?
Yeah, our last day in camp, it's our graduation, and the graduation for all of us as counselors is it's filled with a lot of emotion, and there's a lot of things that we can't say the right way, because you have 4 years worth of of a relationship and growth and that time together. And it's tough to see these guys go out there, but the beauty of this program and the beauty of having that type of commitment towards each other is that they're always welcome to come back. And we're already seeing where some of the guys that graduated a couple years ago are inquiring and asking, how can I come back in the form of a counselor? How can I become involved? And that's really paying it forward, to its fullest. And so while graduation is difficult and it's very emotional and we get to, all get up and say a few words about these guys, we know that they're going to come back in some capacity down the road. And we're looking forward to seeing the big things they're going to do. And we've had these graduating classes now where the guys have, gone from not having a game plan, not understanding what, maybe their role was necessarily in life and where they fit into, making decisions to go to a four-year college. Several have gone into the military. Others have gone right into the workforce. And that's huge. I mean, they're having success, and that's what we want to see.
Now, how do you, pick and choose who, ends up, getting to be a part of this program?
Sure. The way we go out and find these young men is that we use relationships that I've had over the years, places that I've lived or played football in. So, for example, right now we've got four guys that are graduating. Right now we've got three guys that are graduating from West Lafayette, Indiana. Obviously, I went to Purdue, played there, had a lot of great relationships there. And then we've got kids right now from Tennessee, part of a backfield motion program that I was familiar with. We've got kids from Rhode Island, an area that is close to where we played out in Foxborough, and then we got kids from Massachusetts. And in all these cases, these kids are, we're finding these kids through either programs where they're, we're going to the people that are working directly with these young men. And in Darke County's case, we went to the superintendent of schools. We said, hey, can you help us identify this type of a kid? Can you help us look for this type of criteria? And then once they help us vet through all that, then we'll go in and we'll sit down and do one-on-one interviews and narrow it down to, the four that we're going to bring into the program and two alternates in case something happened. So that's really how we find the kids. I mean, it's, we have a list of criteria. Here's what we're looking for. And most of that basically is, we need a kid that the teachers always say, he's a good kid. He's a pretty good kid, but... You know what I mean? And usually that but comes in the form of, he doesn't really have a dad that's around, or there's issues at home, or, there's, he's getting picked on, or, just something that's in their life that's keeping them from reaching their fullest potential. And that's where we come in and we say, hey, man, we're going to bring you into an environment where everybody cares about you. We're here to, help you, and we're here to learn right alongside of you. And they learn from their own people. The people in their class, the other guys that are part of this program, as well as hopefully what we teach them as counselors.
And what's it like for you? You talked about how a lot of these kids are from the inner city. They're kind of on your turf now of this is what you grew up with, and you get to share that with them.
Yeah, I think it's you look for levelers in life, right? Things that level the playing field where, I could grab a whole bunch of people and say, hey, we can go play some football. And most of them aren't going to stand the test, They're not gonna, or we can go play a game of pool where anybody can play the game of pool. And that's kind of what I think this outdoors camp is. This is a leveler. This levels the playing field, whether you're, tall, short, fat, skinny, smart, jock, whatever it is, whatever the label is, you come here. Man, nobody cares about any of that. They're worried about the mosquitoes and the spiders and this, that, and the other. And they're taking some experiences and they're taking a challenge. They're stepping outside their comfort zone, and that breaks down a lot of the barriers. And for me, this has always been a great teaching tool. I mean, to be able to trust a young man to go out in the woods and shoot archery, to shoot a bow and arrow, to travel around a 3D archery course. If that kid isn't listening, if he's not respectful, if he's not attentive, he doesn't get that opportunity. Because you make one mistake doing some of the things that we do out here in the country, and you're going to be in a world of trouble. You can easily go to the hospital. So that's where that trust comes in, and that's where these kind of lessons really get driven home, and that's what makes it special, I think.